Welcome to the bi-monthly updates on MTBC's products and services webinar. This is a free webinar, and I'm your host, Praveen Kanda. Let me begin by telling you a few sentences about myself. I'm actually an intellectual property attorney. I work for MTBC in the capacity where I assist our research and development team, as well as patent and copyright any works that we have created on behalf of MTBC for the company. And I also work with the IT team to provide any provider suggestions and implementations in our products and services. To begin, I'm just going to introduce a few changes that occurred in the last couple of weeks. One thing is I will try to do a weekly meeting. That has changed to a bi-monthly meeting, which would be probably once every 2 weeks, and hence bi-monthly. I've changed this date because I've realized the IT team can't keep up with my webinars, and I had to slow down the pace so that the IT team can keep up with my bi-monthly webinars. So that's just a change I wanted to announce to everyone so they know that they won't get a weekly update but a bi-monthly update. And this update will be on all of MTBC's products and services as I find out about them and as I've been coming through the pipeline. So first, let's talk about the WebEHR, as many of you guys already know. And for those new in the webinar, our WebEHR is MTBC's latest product. It is basically a SaaS model, which is a secure website model for a EHR. So basically, you can access this EHR on the go on any browser. Now, the interesting thing about the WebEHR is you have to realize that there is a lot more information to download for a WebEHR because it's a website. Now, as with any website, I go by the 3-second rule, which is every click is 3 seconds. Sadly, this is slightly slower than our other products, which is the Cloud EHR and the desktop model. Now, although it's slower, the benefits of the web is that any changes that one provider suggests will be made all across the board to all the other providers. So it's a basically a one product model, whereas the cloud would have to give you guys different EXEs for each different product. Now let's just talk about the improvements for all those using the WebEHR. One of the improvements is we've added a shortcut to the claim summary on your scheduler, and let me show you this by logging into the website. Once you log into the website, and you are into the website, and I'm just going to go into a demo account right here by signing in. Once you sign in, you can go to the scheduler, check on your appointments. Let's see, we have actually a few people here on the appointment. Let's go to 9:40. As you can see, now we have a claim summary link. We've added this link based on a request from a few of our practices that wanted access to the claim summary without clicking on new claim. This also helps the billing portion of your practice by having any office manager check the claim summary for that patient on that day that he's there to see whether his past record and his past claims. So it's a quicker way to access the claim summary. The next update I will be talking about is a claims view fix and relocation. So for many people that use our WebEHR, we would like them to send us their billing with e-claims. Basically, these are claims created on the system that can be sent to us. So let's go to Adil here and create a new claim for him. So when we create a new claim for him, this is our e-claims portion. As you can see, you can select the referring physician, the referral number. You can even select self-pay. You can pick the hospitalization if there's a hospitalization, and select ICD and CPT codes. Now, the thing that we changed on this aspect of our web is, as you can see now, the scroll bar fixes your codes and descriptions, so you can track that, as well as we changed the location of the notes, so you can actually scroll less to get to the relevant information. Let me just pick 3 random ICD codes. As you can see here, the scroll bar now, you can only scroll that much. You don't need to scroll all the way to see your notes. So this makes it a little bit simpler for the practice to get to it, and it also lets the practice select it. Now, another thing we had providers ask for is a modifier search. So we do have a modifier search. It works slightly differently, where instead of, you can just click on the relevant box and just, rather than using the scroll bars up and down, you can just type in 53 and it will pick that number appropriately. This works for any number if you want to select it. So this is a quicker way to enter in your codes, and it will pick the appropriate code as you need it. So I hope this little modification will streamline our CPT process, or sending in your claims to us. As you can see, we have the save as draft, where you can save it as a drafted claim that you're waiting to send, and any button, and the send button, which will send it to MTBC for review to run through our rules-based engine. So this is basically how you submit a claim through our system. As you can see, it's fairly streamlined, and we tried to move the most used icons up front and the least used icons in the back. The next change I'd like to quickly talk about is our charting. Well, one of the features we've added in our charts view, and I'm going to go to the charts here and hope this patient has a few charts because it's a demo account. Alright, he's got one chart. Why don't we create another chart for today? Let me quickly create another chart. Alright, just fill out this chart real quick. Oh, sorry. Alright. I hope we're going to save the chart, and then we're going to close out of it, and we'll get back to the patient's charts. Now, as you can see here, he's got two charts, one created on the 17th and one created on the 19th. To do multiple print, you select both charts and then you click print. Now, the cool thing about this is you can view any charts, multiple charts as you see it. As you can see, you see two charts here, one for the first day, which corresponds to the visit date 4/19, and one for the second date, which corresponds to visit date 4/17. Now, this is a simple way to see your charts. As you can see all your categories here. Now, another addition we added on this, which I talked about last time, is our custom print. Our custom print is a really unique feature. As you can see, I'm deselecting appropriate tabs, and they disappear from our chart. So you can see only the relevant portions by literally clicking on which portions you're going. Now, this is just a preliminary version. Eventually, we want to improve this to actually making charts where you can send out notes from this section. And we are just going through the stepping stones of developing the web, so it's something more that you would like a little better. All right. Okay, let me go back to my presentation here. The next thing we have is resolved assessments. So one thing our provider requested was in the chart section, and let me go to the charts here. Let me go to this chart right here. In our assessment section, we had a lot of providers that really liked the unique one-click approach to resolving an assessment. So I know a lot of providers don't do this, but one thing a provider or the office manager can do is start entering in their assessments and CPTs in this section of the chart. And the reason this will be helpful is because this section will carry on with the patient. Now, when you enter an assessment, as you can see, these are the current assessments. Now, we just added a resolve solution to this. So if you click on resolve, that will automatically remove it from your current selection, and it will automatically go to your past. As you can see, if you click on all here on the top left, you can see all four, and you can see which issues were resolved. Hopefully this feature will be a quick way for you to go in and out of the assessments portion and select the items that are resolved. As I mentioned, or as your demo probably taught you, you can select an assessment by clicking here and searching for the appropriate assessment. The next feature I guess like to talk about is just we added a few glitch fixes that we've noticed here and there that we've done to just improve the usage of the EHR. We've just done a few error fixes here and there that we've noticed that providers have brought up to us. Now, at this segment, I usually like telling all my providers, please feel free to contact our tech support line or me if you had any questions or suggestions with the web. Obviously, I like listening to all of our providers' suggestions, and I will tell you the truth and where we are during our development stage on each of our products. As you can see, the web, we are trying to use it as a more streamlined way of charting. As you can see, there's a lot less clicks and a lot less items that you can select. And hopefully this will be where it goes from now on in. Another thing I would like to show you is our next section, or let's go to the next section and talk about the future releases on the WebEHR. We actually have a scan and attach feature, and I think one of the things providers realize is there's going to be a lot of scanning and attaching when you start using an EHR. That's the only way a lot of EHR companies out there can put in that medical information from paper onto an electronic format, and sadly the provider or an office staff member has to do the scan and attachment. This is sadly one of the most cumbersome processes within any EHR, and we tried to streamline it by having a scan and attach which synchronizes with a Twain compatible scanner. Now, I would say if you are interested in joining MTBC, make sure the scanner you get is a Twain compatible scanner. The ones we recommend is a Fujitsu 6150. Obviously, that's a little more expensive of a scanner, and it's actually a very good scanner to make sure your images are more clear and accurate into our documents portion. Another thing I must say is scanning documentation is just a process of using a EHR, and it's something that you guys have to get used to doing on a regular basis just to use an EHR product. The next step, or the next thing I would like to talk about, is our chronic and acute ICD selection. Another thing we're going to be adding to the EHR is whether a disease is chronic or acute for ICDs, and this will be a way of showing whether the disease is chronic or acute, and if you look at your secure support message or secure support center message, which is a way of communicating with MTBC, we requested that all our providers tell us whether they would rather have their ICDs as chronic or acute. Now, if it's chronic, then the ICD will carry over for each patient as a chronic, or for the same patient for every additional chart. And if it's an acute ICD, then it will end at that chart and not carry forward to the next chart. And this is a quicker way for you to chart your charts in the future. The next 4 things I'd like to talk about is we actually have 4 modules that are currently in design stage. We're getting a lot of requests from providers, thanks to my webinars and thanks to our input from all of our providers on different modules they'd like to see on the web. One is the orthopedic module that we have in design stage, and having our graphics team design a orthopedic module. We also have a rheumatology module also in design stage with our rheumatology providers and our graphics designers. We also have our psychiatry module, which is also in design stage, and the reason we have this is because MTBC supports a lot of psychiatry providers, and we want to create a psychiatry module, a simple one that they can use. And finally, we have the pediatrics module, which is for pediatric doctors, and we're developing that module in the design stage as well, as our graphics team is talking to our research and development team. The next feature that I'd like to talk about is one of the things I've realized providers do quite a lot at their offices is they get a stack of papers that they look through and they quickly sign and go to the next paper and read that sheet, sign, and go to the next sheet. So one of the things I've noticed about this that a lot of providers like is they have all their information right there, right up front to show it to them. So one thing I figured to add within the EHR is have a quick sign and next to the next chart. This will be a unique design because it will let them go sign and go to the next portion of the chart, or the next patient that has an unsigned chart. Hopefully we will implement this feature in the unsigned charts widget on your dashboard, and once this is released, I can properly show you how to use it. The next stage, or the next improvement I would like to talk about, is an improved search engine within our ICD and CPT selection that we will eventually implement, and right now this is in design stage as we're looking for other vendors to utilize. And finally, another future release on the WebEHR will probably be the link transactions. Now, this is a feature we are going to add for a few providers that actually send in e-claims that want a quicker way to send e-claims. So this will be a quick way to send e-claims, and hopefully this will be their solution for the linked transactions. And this will basically be a way of quickly bringing up the CPTs with their modifiers with just a one-click button and selecting that click rather than actually going through each one at a time. Improvements on other products. As you know, MTBC is constantly developing other products to make your practice a more robust practice, as well as more IT capable for the next implementation of meaningful use, as well as just having your practice enter in the digital era of our generation. So as I said or for in our last presentation, we have reminders for our IPHR app. We're still working on these reminders, but that's going to probably be an improvement that you'll see in your IPHR. And for those of you who don't know what IPHR is, it is basically the patient health record portal that we have for our patients that work with any practices using our EHR. Now, the good thing about having a PHR tied with your EHR is everything is physician driven, which means you can select what the patient can do on his PHR. If you do not like the patient to schedule in your PHR, then you can tell us and we will deactivate that module for you. Similarly, we also have in this IPHR app, we will be starting to send reminders to the patient. This will include appointment reminders, lab report reminders, and patient reminders. Obviously, these reminders will be only sent if you allow us to send it to them. So please contact our tech support team to know whether you want this feature added onto your PHR. The next topic I generally talk about is the future product development. We have 3 products that are currently in development. We have a transcription app that is right now in QA, and we're just trying to get the final write-off on that. We're also currently developing a GPS locational sign-in where if the patient walks in within, let's say, 10 meters of your practice, it will say, would you like to sign in? And the patient can sign in from his phone. And finally, the last app that I would like to work on, that we are currently working on, is the charting iPad app. I've actually seen a few preliminary designs of this iPad app, and I believe it should be even more streamlined than what designs we initially showed. I think one thing I've gotten back from providers' feedback is they like to have the chart always shown to them rather than click on a view fax print and view a chart that way. This way they can quickly review their information as they're editing it. So that's one of the features we're trying to figure out how to put into the iPad app. Especially with the iPad mini, there's a chance where it'll be too small for the provider to really have a good feel for it. I'm at this point of the webinar, I typically talk a little bit about MTBC and tell our new users and existing users on the WebEHR where to go. For our new users, feel free to contact our sales team. They can really tell you about our products and about what we offer for your practice. And the number here is 732-873-5133, extension 101. And for our existing users, feel free to contact our multiple ways of getting to a customer support. One, we have a phone number with the same number with the extension 102. The method I typically recommend all providers to use is a secure support message. That is an SSC message that we enable for every practice. It is a secure way to contact us with patient health information about either fixes with WebEHR or either billing questions. They can contact us through their SSCM messages, and we have that for you to use to implement in your process. And finally, forum posts. We have an EHR forum where providers can talk to themselves and figure out exactly what they want to see on the EHR, and they can talk amongst themselves. So feel free to post there. We will also respond to posts in kind. Here also, I also love providers when they call me and ask me or tell me about their suggestions and their implementations. So please feel free to call me. My name again is Praveen Kanda. You can also, my nickname is also Vinny or Vin, so you can call me either one of those. My extension is 134, and I also provided my cell phone here if you would like to contact me in a more immediate basis, and I can talk to you for a while on my cell. Or you can also email me at pconda@mtbc.com. Now, typically I take questions in this portion of the webinar. However, since this is a post-recorded webinar due to a technical glitch that I had to re-record this webinar, I will not be, I don't remember the questions, or I do remember the questions, but I don't think it's appropriate to re-answer those questions in this stage. So maybe I will take questions in the next bi-monthly webinar, and we can continue from there. Thank you for watching this webinar, and I hope you have a good day, and I hope I hear from you guys in the future. Thank you.